Now for our content management system, we need two tables here. I'll talk about these tables. We have one table that contains the pages. It has an autocomment ID. It has a label or a title. It has the content. We have the status. We have the menu location. We also have the medias table, which we will store the images and other files inside this one. But our focus in this lesson is the pages table. Now let's go to the editor and create this migration, the pages migration. Here I go back to the migration as we have here from the database folder from migration. Here I open this one. Now I change this one to label or a title. It doesn't matter, it's same. We have the other columns. So I finished writing. Here we have a string, our label, we have text for our content, and we have status, whether this page should be shown or not, whether this page is in a draft mode or in unpublished or published. The status will show that one. We also have another column, is named menu location. It shows the order of the page in the menu. We will have a page. In that page we will show the list of pages. We will show with the help of this menu location, we will show which page should be first and the second and the third, like that. So we have these four columns, and as we will work, you will see how we will going to use these columns to save our data. Now let's run the migration again. This time I will run PHP artisan migrate and fresh. So it will delete the database and recreate the database, as you can see here. Now it's created. If we go back to this here, and if we check, as you can see, it should change it. So I need to refresh this one, and okay, let me rerun the migration again. Migrate, refresh. And I need to run reset, so it will change the databases. So it will reset the database, and now I will run back the PHP artisan migrate fresh, and it should create our pages, as you can see here, our tables, as you can see here. Now we have the ID, the label, the content, and the status. We go back to our Cedar class here and open it. Now, right now we need to change these to put data in the database. At first we had only this title here. Now it's changed its name to the label, and we need to give some data to it, and we also have three other columns to add data. So I pause the video and bring changes to this. Now I created the command, the seed, to insert the database data to the database. We have the title here. This string is static. Then we generate a random 3 characters. Then we have the content static concatenate with str random with 100 characters. And we have the status 1, means show the post, or we just giving this to we use this convention, and it should be only 1, and we use the run function to add 1 between 1 to 4 number. Now I will duplicate these 3 times and run the PHP artisan and db seed. Run again, and the database seeded. Let's check the database. As you can see here, we have here, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, something like this. Okay, so we randomly generated 3. We could use more. I will talk about factories also, which generate more data. But right now we just have these 3. If you want, we can put a loop inside this one, but I prefer it as simple. We can use the factories or loop, but right now I just it's enough to have these 3 records. Now we populated the database. Next we go to the app folder. From here, HTTP folder. From here we have this pages controller. I open this one and close all other tabs here. I open this one and close other tabs. Now we do not have anything here, and I also open the folder from the web.php from the route folders from here. Now we had these routes in previous videos, as you saw, that there's open this view and then this view like this. So now I write pages here. So whenever we access the pages address, it should open the related. It should redirect us to the related functions. So I will change this one to take us to the related address. Instead of this anonymous function we have here, I delete this part, and I'm writing then. I'm giving an array. Inside this array, we give the controller that we want to address. So I write pages controller and then class here, and after that one I give a comma and then the index here. So as you can see here, we need to give the full address, but in the previous videos we already used this controller in the top of my page, so I don't need to write the full address. So I imported here the class, and I can use it here. I'm writing it pages controller, which is this controller inside the app folder, inside the controller, this pages controller here, this one, and I give double colon here and then class and the name of the class, the name of the function we want to call. So in this way we can give this address. Before that one, I will comment this part. So this address also have this address, so that's why I commented this part. So now it will redirect us to this function. Now let's create this function inside the pages controller. Here now I create a function here, public index, and then here public function index, and return view, and inside this view I will have my my file named list. So I write php dot pages dot list. I mean, it means that inside this resources folder, I close this one. Inside this resources folder, inside views, inside this page, I should have a file named list. So I create a new file here and name it list. Inside this one, I just write list pages here. Now, because I directed to this index function here, and now I show this here. I will show this view here. Let's run again and see whether it's working or not. So I come to the browser, and from here I write pages, and as you can see, it's showing this function and this view. Now I write here a query to get data from the database using this model that we created. We have this model here. It has extended the model class from Laravel, so you can use their functions. So I write pages row, and I use this model here, and I use the class all to return all the rows from the database. And I need to import this model also. So I need to import this model also and because it's pages, I need to write like pages, and now I need to import it. So I use click import, and as you can see, I imported this. Now I can use this model here. If you want to pass a parameter to the view, we can use like this. I use pages, and I give it pages and pages records. I give it a name, and I can give as it is value. As you can see, this is an array. This is the index, and in the index I give a name whatever I want, and here I write pages rows. Whatever the result is, I will get the result and send to this view. Now inside this view here, I'm going to get all the data. So from here I use the print or to see whether the data is passed or not. So I use this one here. In this view, we write this name here, and we give this the sign of the $sign in front of it. So whatever we pass as index here, it will be available as a variable inside this view. Now let's see whether our data is passed to this view or not. So I come back to here and refresh again, and it's giving me this error. This is because the database that the address we given is not understood by the Laravel. We need to fix this one. I go to the onto the configuration folder here and open this database here. Now in here I need to change this address. So instead of getting from the env, I change this one to access the database directly. So now from here I need to change this one to the CMS, the name of the file. This function return this address of the database folder, and here I'm giving this name. And now I need to remove this database name from the env file, so it will directly get the address. So I remove this part here. Now this one will return the database address. Let's check again. I'm saving it and checking again. As you can see, all the data have came here. So I will just write echo and the pre-tag here to show the data a bit better. As you can see, all the data is returned to us. I will talk about this later. So right now we have a lot of other metadata with our data, but I will fix this one. As you can see here, we have the record data here inside this address here. I will talk about this one in later videos.